Hello you plonkers and welcome back to another video on the Droozy channel. We're back, baby. I don't know if you've been missing me, but I have been missing making content. I've been busy doing uni exams and they're done. They're over as of an hour and a half ago. I'm not wasting any time, getting straight back into the content. Today we're going to be looking at this year's AFL season predictions of mine. I'm pretty sure they're all very stinky because I literally had no idea about football before this season. But this year I probably watched the most football and learnt the most and learnt that I knew fuck all prior to the season. But if you like the video, drop a like, drop a sub, have a laugh at how much of a melt I am in this video. Get me to 3,000 subscribers if you can. I think I'm about 10 subscribers away. So drop a sub and let's get to 3K. That'd be nice. Let's watch this video. And here he is, little boy Drewzy. Hey? Look at his nose. Look at his nose. Big old nose. Backwards hat. He doesn't mind, does he? But here we go. Let's see what he has to say. But before we get into the tips for my season, I want to thank each and every one of you for giving me 1,000 subscribers on the Droozy channel. Hit 1,000 in March. Give me 3,000, please. Before the predictions begin, don't get your knickers in a knot if I offend your team because it's a prediction. Words before, that's what a prediction is. Come back to me when the season's done, and if I've predicted your team wrong, have a go at me then. There you go. Past Drewzy said it. If I got your team's prediction wrong, if I shat on your team, have a go at me. It's warranted now. You've got permission. But now, try to not cry if I offend you, alright? You bloody cupcakes. Without any further ado, let's get into the AFL 2020 season prediction. Right, now, sorry, you put on glasses because you're not funny, to try act funny because you look stupid. What a melt. Nice. At 18th, winning the wooden spoon, I have the Carlton Blues, and I would put the house on this. Stinker of the bat. Decision was mainly influenced by my hatred for Carlton after Mark Murphy. Carlton finished 11th, so what's that, 7 spots different. They've made great signings over the off season. They're gearing up to be a top 8 side next season, and I won't be predicting for them to win the wooden spoon. Stinker off the bat. Let's see what he has to say. This nuffy, he knows nothing. Carlton, you're trash. I know you think you're good because you're a big club, but you suck. You have no X factor other than Patrick Cripps, but the rest of your players are bang average. Sam Walsh, he's going to be a good player. Sam Walsh had a great season. He's not even as good as Andy Brayshaw, mate. Stop. Stand by that. Thinking you're so good when you're not. You're finishing on the bottom. 17th, I have the Sydney Swans Football Club. So Sydney finished 3rd bottom, so I wasn't too far off. I see them shooting up in the next 5 years or whatever, but at the moment I think they're still very young, developing, inexperienced. They might have a bit of a stinker this year, but I'm rooting for them. I like the Swannies and I see them doing well, but I also see them doing shite. It doesn't make sense because they have so many good players still, but I just see them doing poo this year. I see them doing well, but I see them doing shite because they have good players, but I see them doing poo this year. Right, thanks for clearing that one up, mate. 16th, I've got the Gold Coast Suns. The Gold Coast Suns. Rivalry there, finally. Had the 2 top draft picks as well, which is pretty handy. Getting the 2 best players in the nation and just scooping them up and dropping them on the Gold Coast. That is handy. So they should do well with those boys. Yeah, Matty Rao played 2 games, but, you know, 2 of the best games of the season by any player, arguably. Gold Coast finished 14th. 2 spots away, not too bad, but yeah, underestimated Gold Coast, and hopefully they can continue the growth because they're an exciting side, and I think everyone, you know, wants them to not do shit because sort of sick of Gold Coast being shit. Show us something with the charity you've been given, you twats. Hopefully they can keep hold of their good players, and I see them doing decent by their standards and not finishing on the bottom of the ladder. 15th, I have the Essington Bombers. I know what you're thinking. You know nothing about football. Well, mate, I've been around this sun many times. 18 3/4 times to be exact. And I know a floppy team when I see one. Smell that? Smells like shit. Essendon, you're not going to do well. I think this is Bush's last season. I think it's been agreed. So he'll go and you're just going to have a stinker. It's going to suck to be an Essendon fan this season, I reckon. 15th. There you go. I mean, I got a lot of hate for this call. And it wasn't that far off. Finished 13th. And I predicted him to finish 15th. And I was getting steam in the comments saying, you know nothing, fucking Essendon are a good team, shit. No, they're not, and they've just lost some of their best players. Didn't see them doing well, and they didn't do well, and I think they're going to have another couple stinky years ahead. So, you know, good on you, Past Drewzy. You know what you were talking about in this instance.
Fifth.
Who's he going to put in 14?
Port Adelaide.
Oh, okay.
What's going to happen?
Right, well, thanks for watching, and I'll be off. But no. Ken Hinkley had a huge year. Obviously, COVID probably helped them playing all those home games. Put that aside, great season. Made it to a prelim. Couple kicks away from a grand final. Ken Hinkley got the whips out, whipped the boys, and they didn't finish in 14th where I predicted. So sorry for the Port fans. You did well, and I like your side. I love the pair, and that's an absolute stinking prediction from Andrew. I think Port were one of those teams that no one really knew where they'd finish, so I don't think it was too bad of a prediction at the time, but in hindsight, stinker.
You're going to have a couple good games, then you're going to lose like 8 in a row, sack Ken Hinkley, and then just have a stagnant year. And you'll just be thinking, oh my god, this coronavirus should just take us all away, because I don't want this. Realistically, Port Adelaide have a really good list, but they need a good coach. I think they're a bit stagnant, like the Dockers were with Ross Lyon, and I think Port Adelaide will finish, what did I say? 14th. So 13th, Hawthorn, the Yellow and Browns.
The Yellow and Browns. So I predicted Hawthorn to finish higher than they finished. Mental, they finished 15th, so 2 spots. Again, that's not too bad of a prediction. Let's hear his rationale.
Have Tom Mitchell back in town. Jimmy Warple, great player. John Patton, inconsistent, not want to get the job done. I just don't think they're going to hack it this season, and I think the Hawks will finish 13th. I can't describe why. They've got the best coach in the comp, arguably the best player in the comp in Tom Mitchell, but 13th, that's where I'm putting you. It's a prediction. Don't get too caught up in it.
When they played Freo, they didn't have anyone going forward. They had James Sicily in the forward line, so maybe they just lack a bit of depth. Lost Isaac Smith, that's not going to really help the cause. Are Hawthorn on the decline? Maybe they're just going through a thick rebuild to get back to where they want to be, but it's not looking good for the Hawks at the moment.
At 12, I have the Adelaide Crows.
12th. What about last, you fucking idiot? Young side, bit of beef in the side as well, it seemed. Players having scraps, getting into mischief, and yeah, obviously offloaded Rory Atkins, Brad Crouch, so they've sort of weakened. Got the #1 pick this year, but yeah, it was a stinking year for Adelaide. Why did he put him in 12th? Let's hear it.
In the grand final in 2017, had a couple off years, so many talented players on that list. You got the Crouch brothers, Rory Sloane, Darcy Fogarty coming through the ranks, Laird, off the top of my head, Tex Walker's a bit shite, but I think they're a bloody good team. Finishing 12th isn't that good, but I could see them pushing top 8. I'm just going to put them here, because this is where I think they'll finish, but I wouldn't be surprised if they finished in the top 8.
Can you tell he doesn't know what he's talking about?
At 11th, I have the St Kilda Saints.
Saints at 11th. Saints finished 6th. Made a huge jump from the previous year. Huge additions in the off-season again. They're looking really good. They're looking like they're going to push top 4 next year. I think, again, St Kilda fans are always on my back. So I was like, I'm not giving you the time of day. I'm not giving you a good prediction. Stay out of the 8, St Kilda. And obviously they did well. Good on you, Saints.
Obviously very hyped with the players that they've brought in. Brad Hill, best winger in the comp. But really, did they do much last season? No. Do I like St Kilda? No. So, you're getting put 11th. I know you played good in the March series, but we'll just see. It's words before. Prediction. Don't get too hung up on it, mate. If I'm wrong, come abuse me. But I think the St Kilda Saints will finish 11th.
Yeah, alright. Saints fans, I'll let you have at me. Go on. Get at me. I'll let you have it. Alright, that's enough.
10th, I have the young King North Melbourne Kangaroo Cooksons. I just think they're going to be a tough team all season long. Hard to beat. Never lose by more than 20 points. And they're just going to be the battlers under their new coach, Shorey.
Yeah, well, at the end of the 2019 season, North were hot under their new coach. And yeah, I just loved watching them. They were exciting. They beat Richmond the year before. Only won 3 games all year. I don't really think you could have predicted that. Predicted them to finish 10th. They finished 17th. It's one of my big stinkies of this video. It is what it is. Let's hear what he has to say.
They're going to be sick in a couple of years, and this season I see them finishing 10th with Boner kicking another 60 goals, like Sean Higgins winning the Brownlow,
he got traded.
Brent Harvey coming out of retirement. Great year for the Boomers, and I said they're going to finish 10th, so maybe not Sean Higgins winning the Brownlow or Ben Brown kicking 1,000,000 goals, but go the Boomers. Kanga, roo, yes, go the Kangaroos.
What an absolute melt.
At 9, I have the Western Bulldogs.
Ooh, okay. Not too far off. 2 spots. I did have them outside the 8, and that's a pretty important gap. Got kicked out in the first round by the Saints. Bulldogs are looking like one of the more impressive, exciting sides in the league. I don't think this was too bad of a prediction. I know my next one is, but yeah, we'll see what he says.
But with Aaron Norton out, I don't see them having a huge forward who's just going to absolutely carry their team.
That's a good point, because Aaron Norton was out for a while, and buddy Big Wallace stood up. So, you know, that's who stood up. That answered the question. There's 2 spots right there. Good prediction then.
Obviously, they have one of the best midfields in the comp, but I just see them finishing 9th. I think there's 8 teams that are better than them. It's a bit of a controversial one, but I'm saying the Bulldogs to finish 9th and narrowly miss out.
You wait
that
till
one's
what
a
he
bit of
says
a controversial one, and I really do see them finishing top 8, but my own personal bias has overtaken me, and the Dockers are finished 8th on the ladder. Let's go.
Look, Dockers can finish top 8 this season. I don't doubt that. Probably could have made the 8 if we hadn't had stinky games against sides like Bulldogs and Richmond when we had control of the game and just couldn't play 4 quarters. There were lots like that. GWS, we didn't show up. But, you know, the future is bright for Freo. I see us winning the flag in the next 10 years. Very excited for the future of the Dockers. Our midfield's starting to look like genuine started midfield. Chera, Brayshaw, Sarong, Jewel Brownlow medalist, Nathan Fife in the side. If he wants to come in and play in the middle, he can. If not, he'll stay up forward and kick snags all day long. Matt Taberner fired up this season. So Dockers finished 12th, so 4 spots off. Very optimistic pick from me. But, you know, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all because we'll finish there next year.
Fremantle Dockers have so much quality, it's never talked about. Victorians wouldn't realise how good our list is. It shits on the likes of Carltons, Essendons, bloody who else, Hawthorns. I think St. Kilda even, we have such a good list. If we can remain healthy all year, once we get Alex Pearce back, once we get Joel Hamling back, Fife's firing, Andy Brayshaw's maturing, Rory Lobby the forward line, mate.
John Cox comes along and does really well as well.
New coach, new game plan, players are bloody happy to play football again. They've been released from the grasp of Ross Lyon, and we're going to have a good season and finish in the finals for the first time since like 2015, I think. At 7, I have Brisbane.
Wow. Why have you done that then? I love Brisbane. Brownlow medalist, Lockie Neal. Obviously, COVID probably helped as well, playing all those games at the Yo Gabba Gabba. Yeah, 5 spots off. Bit of a stinker.
My second favourite team, I just think they'll fall this year. They had a sick season last season, and obviously I think they're a lock for the top 8. I'm a bit of a nuffy on this one. I can't explain it, but I just have a feeling in my heart that the Brisbane Bulldogs will drop down to 7th.
What I was meaning by that is their inexperience probably couldn't carry them up to another high finish, but it did, and they're maturing really well as a group.
At 6th, I have Melbourne Demons.
Melbourne finished 9th and 1 win away from the top 8. They were 1 win off 6th, actually, so this isn't too bad. Disappointed to miss out on finals, but there's lots of promising signs for the future. I think Petrarca was probably the most exciting player to watch this season for me personally. I love watching the D's play. Luke Jackson was an absolute star of an addition to the side, and they're adding Ben Brown as well. Do I regret making that decision? No, because the top 8 was very, very tight. Forgot they added Ed Langdon as well. And he didn't make the waves that I thought he would, because at Freo, he was a top 5 player.
Number 5, I have the Geelong Cats.
So I predicted the Cats to finish 5th, and they finished 4th, and made the grand final. And they were up in the grand final by a lot, and they should have won, but they choked. Not a bad prediction. 1 spot off.
Minor premiers last year, and I'm having them missing out on the 4 this year. They're going to drop. Gary Ablett's going to retire, as predicted by young King Cookson. 4th, I have Collingwood.
Stinky. Still failed to win the flag in this period. Big hole in the big mainsail. Adam Treloar, see you later. Stevenson, see you later. Phillips, see you later. Can we get anyone in? No, because we don't know how to control finances. They found it hard to acclimatise to Perth. Not that the climate was an issue, but just settling in, I think, because they lost to Freo. Like, at the time, it was like Collingwood losing to Freo, but obviously Freo were the best side in the comp. Got absolutely hammered by West Coast over here. And yeah, I just don't think they could really pick up any momentum during the season. They were romped by injuries as well. Went out second round of the finals. Didn't even show up against Geelong. I mean, there's no integrity, and yeah, the integrity or lack thereof showed during the off-season when they lost 3 of their top 22. Stinker.
One of the most talented lists in the comp. Don't be disheartened by this, Collingwood fans, because you'll probably play finals and do sick. But I think in terms of the ladder position, you will finish 4th. It'll be good to see Jaden Stevenson and DeGoey, if DeGoey we can stay fit, having a full season together and just tearing it up, which I think they will be able to do. 3rd, GWS. So
right, big stinker. GWS, I don't like you. Competitive in big games, big win against Geelong in the first round of the season, and then you finished 10th. 10th. You've been handed a premiership on a platter. You just keep turning away from it. Jeremy Cameron doesn't want it. Zach Williams, he doesn't want it. They've been given everything, and they just, I don't know, it's just frustrating. They have so many good draft picks, have had so many good draft picks over the years, draft all this talent and get traded away, make a grand final, don't show up. Predicted them to finish 3rd because they had the talent to finish 3rd, and they finished 10th. 10th! Fuck you, GWS.
2nd, I've got Richmond.
Put them in at 2nd, and they finished 3rd. Lost the first final. Really showed their maturity as a list going up to Queensland and got the job done. Finished 3rd on the ladder. Quite a safe bet to chuck them in at 2nd.
Obviously, from the premiership highs, they're gonna go to 2nd, which again, you wouldn't complain if you're a Richmond fan finishing 2nd. Tom Lynch, quality. Dustin Martin, quality. Dylan Grimes, quality. That spine, quality. Marlon Pickett, breakout star. Richmond 2nd on the ladder. To my disgust, leaves at the top the West KKK Coast Eagles.
The Eagles finished 5th. Definitely would have thought they would have finished top 4 at the start of the year, but they didn't. They had a bit of a stinker. Some of the fans are getting quite frustrated at Andrew Gaff, but I don't know what it was. The chemistry, the squad depth. They had a couple of injuries, and the players that came in weren't really feeling the holes very well. Thought Tim Kelly would just make them shine, but he didn't. Bit of a weird one for West Coast this year. And obviously, first round finals exit. Have that, you twats.
Obviously, they've added Tim Kelly. That midfield rotation will not be beaten all season. They don't get beaten at Perth very often, and I think they're going to crack down this season and be bloody hard to beat anywhere. And I think they'll finish on the top of the ladder. Alrighty, Coleman medalist. What are we saying? Lynch from Richmond. Tommy Lynch is settled in, and this year he's
went to Tommy Hawkins, so you got half of it right. Not quite though.
Brownlow, Marcus Montempelli.
Nah, mate. Lockie nil. Lockie balls of steel nil.
For the premiership,
here we go.
Who am I saying? The GWS.
Oh, okay. Nah,
more
that's
premierships
enough.
than
Right, that's enough. We're finished. We're done. All right. So the predictions weren't actually as bad as I thought. I thought they would have been a lot worse, but they were sort of 2 to 5 spots away for the most part. A couple stinkers, but you know. But what's life without a stinker? For next season, I'll be more clued on. I'll do a proper season predictions. I'll do a bit of research for it, and I'll lay out my teams. And as I said, lots more content coming out now that uni's done. If you like the video, drop a like, drop a sub. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, you plonkers.